Boys, today I'm going to be going over every single fighter who I think will be champion at the end of 2026. Now, let me preface this by saying, you see the screenshot on the screen right now. I created this slideshow for this video on December 17th. You see that clearly right there. December 17th, this is a Google slide, all right? December 17th, 2025. Now, yes, if you are a bedtime MMA fan, and I know there's not going to be a lot of people watching, but if you're a bedtime MMA fan, you saw his video, which he posted yesterday at the time of filming this. He posted a video yesterday discussing who he thought would be the champion at the end of 2026. And now, I just needed to put this here, all right? December 17th is when I made this, okay? I did not copy any of Bedtime's ideas. Now, we have a lot of similar, great minds think alike. I'll just say that, all right? Great minds think alike. We have a lot of similar fighters that, we believe will be champions. So I just wanted to put the screenshot here to let you guys know that I'm not, copying any other people. I last opened this document before filming right now on December 17th, all right? So there was no copying. I'm not a copycat, okay? Bedtime, we still rock with you. You're the best MMA YouTuber. So, yeah, we're going to get right into this. Here we go. And we are doing the women's fighters. We'll just, speed through those really quick. Anyway, here we go. First up. That was a little teaser, in the screenshot. But for women's strawweight, we have Zhang Weili. Now, Mackenzie Dern is not a real champ. I mean, she is a real champion. Let's be real. But, Zhang Weili's, she looms over this division, after she left. So, I think there will only be one women's fight this year, and it'll be Mackenzie Dern versus Zhang Weili moving back down. And I do have Zhang Weili probably finishing Mackenzie Dern. So, yep, let's move on. Women's flyweight, I do have Valentina Shevchenko again. I think they only fight this year, and unfortunately, she does beat my girlfriend, Natalia Silva. Yes, me and Natalia Silva are dating. I am her manager. So yeah, we are dating. We've been dating for a while now. So sadly, I do think we lose this fight. I'm going to train her, to, be wary of the, the takedowns. And, we're going to use that front leg side kick pretty good. And, we're going to, if she loses, we will console her after the fight. If she wins, we're going to celebrate. So my girlfriend probably will lose to Valentina Shevchenko in this one. But, I think only one fight this year. And Valentina beats my girlfriend, Natalia Silva. Moving on. Women's bantamweight. I think Kayla Harrison is going to be champion. I think she's going to hold the belt. I think she's the best women's fighter right now. Yes, I think she's better than Valentina, but I think she'll beat Amanda Nunes at 324. Amanda's been out of the cage for a long time, and I don't really have anything else to say because I don't enjoy women's fights. No offense to the women, but this is actually pretty interesting. I do think Kayla Harrison will come back on the White House card and fight Ronda Rousey in one of the biggest women's MMA fights of all time. Doesn't that excite you guys? Come on, man. No, it doesn't excite me either. I'm lying. But I do think Ronda comes back. She has been training, and stuff's been circulating. So give me Ronda Rousey versus Kayla Harrison at the White House card, and I think Kayla Harrison embarrasses her because Ronda Rousey is not good at fighting. Anyway, let's move on to the real juice of the video. The flyweight division. This is kind of a hot take, actually. Give me Pantoja as champion. Give me Pantoja as flyweight champion on December 31st, 2026. All right? Now, I think Van versus Tyra will be made. Van versus Tyra will be made, all right? I could see that maybe at the beginning of the year. And for Kopp, I don't think Kopp's going to get a title shot, bro. He does not fight enough. He pulls out. Like, you're not reliable. And I don't think the UFC are going to give him the shot this year, okay? And he's like a once-a-year type fighter. So, I mean, the past few years he's fought twice, but... Or I could see Tyra maybe on a quick turnaround if they make a Japan card, him fighting Kopp in Japan, because those two, are known for fighting over in Japan. So I could see that happening, but I honestly think there's two title fights this year for flyweight. I think Tyra beats Van in the beginning of the year, which sucks because we do rock with Van. Not as much as we rock with Pantoja. I do mess with Pantoja. I felt so sad when he broke his arm. I'm not gonna lie. I was liking sad edits of Pantoja on TikTok, but let me just keep going on with the video. Tyra does beat Van, and then I think December of 2026, Pantoja at T-Mobile in December, like he said, I think Pantoja beats Tyra for the belt. Now, this is, I'm not gonna lie, this is controversial, okay, but I think Pantoja's the best 125er. I think it will be a tough fight, but I do see Pantoja coming back from injury this year. I'm not sure if he's going to need surgery. I don't. Why haven't we heard that if he needs surgery or not? Like, what is the news on it? Can someone break some news on this guy, bro? Like, what, on it anyway. But I do think Pantoja will come back. I don't think the injury is going to be as bad. We saw Jaden Daniels for the Washington Commanders break his arm like in a really similar way, and he was back like 4 or 5 weeks later. So I don't think the injury is going to be that bad. But if it is, the prediction is going to go in the gutter. But I do have Pantoja beating Tyra for the belt in December. Anyway, moving on. Bantamweight division. I have Petr Yan. I do have Petr Yan staying as bantamweight champion. I genuinely don't see anyone that beats this guy after he beat Merab, okay? I don't see it. And I could see Umar, but I don't know. I'm not high on Umar, honestly. I'm not really that high on Umar. But I don't think Umar is going to get a shot this year. I think Petr Yan will fight Sean O'Malley in the first quarter, like March, April-ish, all right? I think O'Malley will beat Yadong. I'm leaning honestly towards Yadong, but I think O'Malley will win. I can't think of the right word, but I think O'Malley will win. And then I think they make Petr Yan versus Sean O'Malley in March, April. And I see Petr Yan winning that fight. I see Petr Yan breaking Sean O'Malley and actually finishing him. Sean O'Malley has zero confidence right now. If he does get a win against Yadong, maybe his confidence will go up, but this guy's confidence is at an all-time low. You can just sense it. The guy needs a win. But I think Petr mixes it up. I think he won that first fight too. I think he mixes it up. I think he gets takedowns on O'Malley, and I think he just roughs him up being just a bigger dog. Because O'Malley doesn't have that dog in him. I'm sorry, he doesn't. The only dog he's shown is in the Petr fight. Other than that, I don't see shit from him, so... I think Petr Yan will defeat Sean O'Malley. And then I think for a little quick turnaround, I think Petr Yan will, at maybe end of summer, I think he will fight Merab again for the belt. I think Merab's not going to fight. I think he's going to wait and get an immediate rematch against... If O'Malley beats Petr, is he going to get an immediate rematch? I'm not sure for the belt. I'm not sure, but... I do have Petr beating Merab again for the belt. After that performance, I really just don't see what Merab could... Like, what else can he do? He did what he was, he did his thing. He shot the takedowns, but Petr was stuffing them. Petr was shucking him off and applying pressure. I don't think Merab beats Petr ever again. So, I don't think Merab is champ ever again. So, that might be a hot take. But bantamweight, we're sticking with Petr Yan. Let's move on. For the featherweight division, it's Movsar Evloev. And now this is where the bedtime stuff, bedtime MMA. I'm sorry. You saw the screenshot, bro. I'm not copying you. Great minds think alike, bro. Let's collab, all right? Let's collab. I know I have 3 subscribers, but let's collab, bro, all right? All right? Anyway. For featherweight, I do think Movsar Movsar will be the champion at the end of 2026, all right? I think Lopez slimes out Volk. I hope Lopez slimes out Volk. We're not Volk fans here. Argue with me in the comments, bro. Volk is boring as hell. But... I think Lopez beats Volk in January 31st, February 1st. I think that happens. And I think Lopez will come back maybe, I don't know, summer, late summer, early fall. Maybe in Abu Dhabi, honestly. And I think Movsar does unfortunately beat Lopez in the rematch. We don't want to see it. We don't want this guy as champ. He doesn't fight. He barely fights. He's boring. Well, he's actually not that boring. Movsar is, one of the better Dagestanis, but he does use his wrestling. We don't mess with wrestling over here, so... I think Movsar will get the belt back. I think he's going to fight Lerone Murphy in London on that March card, so I think he will get one more fight before he fights for the belt, and I do think he beats Lerone Murphy. If Lerone Murphy wins, then this could potentially be Lerone Murphy versus Diego Lopez for the title shot. But I don't think that happens, but, that could happen. But I do think Movsar beats Lopez in the rematch. And he will be champion and fight one time a year. So, yep, for featherweight, we have Movsar Evloev. Moving on. Lightweight. I know what you're thinking. Is my GOAT going to be the lightweight champion at the end of 2026? He's not. And this is how you know I'm not biased, okay? This is how you know I'm not biased. I have Ilia Topuria being the champion at the end of 2026, okay? You don't know how bad I wanted to put Charles here because I do think he not this year. Unfortunately, I don't think... this is literally no bias. I glaze this guy. I don't think Charles will fight for the belt this year, which is sad, but I think January of 2027 is when, February is when Charles will get the belt back. I have a video coming out on Charles, his 3-step plan to get the belt back, but that'll drop at a later date. But let's keep going on with the video. I think Ilia Topuria will still be the champion, okay? And I think Paddy beats Justin on the first Paramount card, okay? And I have a video coming out on Ilia Topuria's future as well, but I'll just say a little bit. In that video, he said if Paddy wins, he'll fight Paddy, but if Justin wins, the UFC has other plans for him, which obviously means if Paddy wins, Ilia fight Paddy, and if Justin wins, Ilia's going to vacate the belt. Ilia's going to vacate the belt and move up and chase Islam at 170. So, but I fucking pray to God Gaethje doesn't get the belt. Oh my! If Gaethje gets the belt, bro, oh my God, the hate watch will be absolutely 10 times worse than it already is. But, and bro, if Gaethje gets the belt before Charles, all right, I can't even think of that. It's literally gonna piss me off. But Paddy beats Justin is what I genuinely think on the first Paramount card, and then we get Ilia versus Paddy, maybe at the White House. I don't know, maybe late summer. And yeah, I don't think Ilia versus Makhachev happens this year as well. So that's why I think Ilia will still be the champion, because he'll beat Paddy, move to welterweight in 2026. Move to welterweight in November. Maybe on the MSG card they'll fight, but I think it'll happen in 2027 that they'll fight. But he moves to welterweight in 2026. He's like the looming champion, although he says he's moving up, but he has to still be champion, before the fight happens. So I think Ilia will still be the champion. This is probably my one that's my least confident, because I think it depends on if Justin wins. If Justin wins, he's gone. He's not going to be champion. He's going to move up. But if Paddy wins, they're going to fight. Ilia doesn't fight a lot, so I think maybe 1 to 2 fights max this year, and I still think he will be the champion. But Charles is coming, and I hope we rematch Topuria, because I think we have the recipe to slime him out or submit him in the first round. Next, Islam Makhachev will be welterweight champion now. I don't know how I feel about this, because Islam was one of my favorite fighters. Before I hated him for what he did to Charles, but this guy has entertaining scraps. He was one of my top 10 favorite fighters. I think he's got a really good personality outside of the cage. He's funny. But bro, that fight with JDM, I don't know, man. I can't see. I see his fights going more towards a Hamzat level. And Hamzat is one of my favorites, but holy shit, those two performances, him and Hamzat's back to back, were fucking just so brutal, bro. They were so brutal. But I don't see anyone beating him. I think they're going to make the Usman fight, which is complete bullshit, but I think they'll make it. Maybe first quarter of the year, summertime. So sadly, we will see Islam beat up on old-timer Usman with no knees, and nobody wants to see that fight. He's boring as fuck. What else? He's just shit, so no one wants to see that. Ali Abdelaziz, you are a fucking weirdo for even wanting this, and yeah, we don't fuck with you, so. Anyway, he beats Usman in a bullshit legacy fight, just like a Stipe John Jones level fight. And then I think this is where the real challenge comes in. I think Ian Gary waits. I don't think Ian Gary will fight before he fights Islam, and I think it'll happen in Abu Dhabi. And yeah, I think he beats Ian Gary in just a boring fucking... Bro, if you have Ian Gary and Islam... Bro, Islam can make entertaining fights, but if we have the Islam that fought JDM and we have fucking current day Ian Gary, bro, that fight will be one of the worst fights of all time. I put that on God, bro. I put that on my soul, all right? That would be one of the worst fucking fights of all time. So yeah, I think he beats Usman, beats Gary in boring fashion. So let's move on to a little more entertaining here. Oh wait, never mind. It's not entertaining because we do have Hamza. And yep, you see that right there. I think he only fights one time this year, sadly. This guy does not fight. He's like Ilia Topuria. Get in the cage and fight, bro. It's your fucking job. Fight. And I think he beats Imavov, sorry. Not Chael Sonnen, but I think he beats Imavov fucking, I don't know, maybe Abu Dhabi. Maybe just fights in Abu Dhabi. I don't even know. I think he said he wants to fight in an interview one time and then move up, so. I don't know what this guy, bro. He was so fucking entertaining. Like, palms sweaty, fucking shaking when this guy fights, but I don't know, man. That performance against DDP was just so fucking terrible. But I think he fights Imavov once, beats him, maybe moves up. I don't know, but fucking this guy just needs to get in the cage and fight because he used to be one of the most exciting fighters. So I don't see anything else happening. I don't see him fighting twice, which is crazy because I don't think he even gets hurt by Imavov. I think he just does what he did to Dricus, but maybe he goes for a finish. Hopefully he goes for a finish, but let's move on to the 205-pound division. In bedtime, I swear, you saw the screenshot. I'm not copying you. Whoever's watching, I'm not a fucking copycat. I think Yuri Prochazka is going to be light heavyweight champion, all right? Let's go for that. He will be light heavyweight champion, bro, and I'm going to manifest this because he's one of my favorite fighters. And I think he can do it. And I think because Alex vacates to go to heavyweight, I'll talk about that in a minute, but I think Alex vacates, especially due to the Tom Aspinall situation where he's not going to be fighting for a while because, he got baby poked in the eye. Bro, don't even get me started. You know what? I'm one of those people that are like, I'm not hating on Aspinall, but I'm like, bro, come on, man. Is it really that, I'm questioning him, which, who should I question, a heavyweight champion? But, that's just who I am. So I'm questioning Aspinall right now, but I think Alex moves up to heavyweight. And I think they make Yuri versus Alberg for the vacant title, somewhat first quarter, maybe springtime. And I think Yuri slams out Alberg, and I hope that Yuri slams out Alberg, but I really don't see this guy losing to anyone other than Pereira and maybe Ankalaev, but, I have predicted, as you can see, to him for him to fight 2 times this year, and I think he beats Ankalaev, and I think Ankalaev will fight once. I hope he will. I think he'll fight once in the meantime because I think the UFC want him, coming off a win because I don't think they're too high on Ankalaev, but Yuri will fight Alberg for the vacant title in the springtime, and I think we beat him. I think we knock him out. I don't see this guy going to decisions, bro. I just simply don't. I see this guy finishing no matter what, or him getting finished, but I don't see him getting finished in either of these matchups. But it's just something about Yuri, bro. He just goes. He doesn't care if he gets knocked out. He puts his heart on the line. He puts he puts everything out there. So I think he finishes both Alberg and Ankalaev in 2026. He has a contender for being fighter of the year. And I'm really manifesting this, bro, because when this guy's champion, he's just such exciting fights. You get so nervous before the fights. Like, oh my God, I'm just rooting for him. If Alex stays, obviously I want Alex to be the champion still because he's also one of my favorites. But I think he moves up, and I pray that Yuri Prochazka gets the belt back, slimes out Alberg, slimes out Ankalaev. And that's what I think happens. Now, moving on, our last division. You already know what I'm going to say. I think Alex Pereira is going to be the heavyweight champion at the end of 2026. Now, this is my most bold prediction, I'd say. And I think he moves up and he fights Cyril Gane, and I think he fights and beats Cyril Gane for an interim title. Now, the UFC is not happy with Tom Aspinall right now, okay? They hate Tom Aspinall right now. And Tom Aspinall is going to be out for a while. I think he said he needs surgery. So, I think Alex Pereira fights 3 times this year. I think he fights and beats Cyril Gane for the interim title. All right? That's going to happen. I'm like 99% sure that's going to happen because they hate Aspinall, so they're just going to make an interim. Then, maybe on the White House card, I think that fight with Cyril happens early on, like maybe March-ish, March, April. Then, I think Pereira has a quick turnaround and he beats Tom Aspinall. Maybe at the White House card, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how timing lines up on that, but Pereira did put out a tweet. He said White House no more, or like no mas or something like that, but I think he will beat Tom Aspinall. Maybe summer, late fall, and then I think we have a super fight in 2026. Alex Pereira fights 3 heavyweights this year. He fights and beats John Jones at the end of 2026, maybe 2027, but that still lines up with Pereira being the heavyweight champion, with the premise of the video. So I do think he fights at least twice, maybe 3 times in 2 super fights with him versus Tom and him versus John. Now, this is the most bold prediction. I think he can beat Cyril Gane. I don't know though. Cyril Gane was looking good against Aspinall, but I think he beats Cyril Gane. Tom will be a hard fight. I know what people are saying. Tom, he sucks now because he had one bad performance. But that will be a tough fight. Tom could just fucking double again. But, Ankalaev couldn't really get any takedowns. So, but I think Aspinall's a different beast. But, it was just his sheer size. But then I think he fights John Jones, guys. I really do think John Jones comes out of retirement and he fights Alex Pereira for just one of probably the biggest fight of all time other than Khabib and McGregor. I'd say that. I'd say that's one of the biggest fights. And, oh my God, I'm praying to God he slimes out John Jones with a left hook. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm going to say it one more time. I was not copying anyone in this video, okay? Me and Bedtime, we had similar thoughts, okay? You saw the screenshot in the beginning. December 17th is when I made this. His video came out yesterday at the time of recording this. Yesterday was December 21st. So I did not copy. We have great ideas. Let's collab. And let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And I'm out. Peace.